I am Richard Lawson, Dean of St. John's Cathedral, and I am joined by Pam Wong, who's a new-ish member of the Cathedral and now a member of our vestry. Pam, you are an Episcopalian from New York, but joined the Cathedral. How long have you been here in Denver?
A year and a half.
And it was your job that called you here.
It was.
Tell us what you do.
I oversee research, data, and assessment for Denver Public Schools.
God bless you and God bless Denver Public Schools. And I know that data is really important right now.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Our stewardship theme this year is God and I want to start with the God part. When you're at St. John's Cathedral, when or where do you feel like God comes most close to you, or you feel God in some way?
Yeah. When I think about God and I think about community and being housed in a congregation. Back in New York, when I led a house church, we were fond of saying, life is difficult. It's not meant to be done alone. It's so important to have that community of other Christian followers who are there to support you and to hear what you're struggling with and to walk alongside you. And I think that's some of the beauty that I was so able to quickly find and see here at St. John's when I moved here.
I believe that everyone who comes to the Cathedral comes because of God in some way, our experience of God. And there are particular reasons unique to each person, unique to each household why we come. For some, it's the music. For you, it's community. For others, it's justice and opportunities for service, and on and on. What is your and? Is it something to do with the 20s and 30s community you're involved in? Something to do with vestry? What's your and?
I really appreciate the intergenerational aspect of our congregation, and that I am well plugged into the 20s and 30s group, but I'm also meeting and plugged into people who are generations above and below me, and I think there's something really beautiful in that. I also just love the diversity of our service offerings, and whether you love Right One, Right Two, or you love the Wilderness, where I'm normally found, there's something beautiful about one of my favorite things to do is to serve at the altar and at the table, because I have seen with people that I know that I disagree with strongly on any number of other issues.
Sure.
When we come to the table, I've seen that same longing for God in the eyes of people that I know that we might be sparring at some other point, but everyone just has that same deep desire to see God.
That's wonderful, Pam. As a member of the vestry, you oversee the budget, so you are involved in pledging and budgeting, intimately involved in it. Why does it matter that people pledge?
Yeah, I think it's important to recognize how unique the programs that are being offered by the Cathedral are, and how unusual some of the things are that we have here. Like we have a vocational deacon, a full-time deacon. Right. So many churches don't have that anymore. And, that is our call to, bridge our faith out into the world. And Deacon Jack certainly serves a huge purpose in that. And, I've come to really respect how, under your leadership, how fiscally responsible the church has been in making sure that, even with huge capital campaign projects and all the other initiatives that we're doing, you're making sure that we're staying within budget. And, I believe we had a $1,200 surplus this past year. And that $1,200 surplus really means that every pledge and every dollar really matters, because we are being thoughtful about where it's going to be used, and we're going to try to maximize the usefulness of all of that money for the betterment of both our community and the world.
I invite you to be confident. What is your spiritual gift that you offer to the Cathedral and to the world? Because the Holy Spirit has at least given you one.
I would like to think that I have some shred of wisdom, if only because the Holy Spirit is guiding me. But I would say I like to listen and hear people out and troubleshoot problems. And and hopefully the Holy Spirit's imbued me with some wisdom in those situations.
And in a nutshell, then, for you, what's the difference between knowledge and wisdom?
I think you can be knowledgeable without having the right understanding of when to apply it. And that to me is where wisdom comes in.
Pam, I am so grateful that the Cathedral, the Vestry, and Denver Public Schools has the benefit of your wisdom. Thank you so much for your leadership and for how you do things.
Thank you, Dean Richard. I appreciate you saying that.